Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Ed, the architect, and I'm going to give you 10 tips to decorate your kitchen and make it modern, beautiful, and functional. And you'll only pay what's fair, spending just what's necessary to decorate your kitchen. Some of these items are even inexpensive, so you can add them to your kitchen, okay? It really comes down to personal taste. Well, this is a project we're delivering to our client. We're in the final phase. I'm recording the last videos here to hand over this project to my client, and now we've reached the kitchen phase that I want to talk to you about. First, I want to start with the countertop. I always like to use light-colored countertops in my projects, okay? Whether it's here on the kitchen countertop or on this counter that separates the kitchen from the living room, which is a counter we used in this project to build in the microwave and also add some drawers, okay? And it automatically serves as a breakfast bar for a quick snack, where those two chairs are over there. And also in the laundry area, because I like to use the same stone in all three places here. That's my first tip for you. Second tip, induction cooktop. I like to use induction cooktops in my projects. Never use an electric cooktop, okay? I will never recommend you put an electric cooktop in your project. Always go for induction. I've already told you several times here on the channel why I use an induction cooktop and not an electric one. If it were a gas one, that's fine. But I prefer the induction one. And it's the same thing with the oven. If you lack space in your kitchen and can't build that tall oven tower, go with a low oven and a cooktop here, and you'll have a good kitchen design, okay? Now look how interesting this is. I have here, and I've told you this several times here on the channel, the lighting, giving that wash of light over my countertop. If I turned off, look, the main task light in my kitchen, even so my kitchen would still be very bright because of these two LEDs that we installed here in this project. That's another tip I'm giving you. Use this lighting here in the overhead cabinet, in the upper cabinet of your kitchen. This will benefit you a lot in your daily life, in your day-to-day use of the kitchen. As you're preparing food and doing everything else, this is really cool. I really like and enjoy it a lot. Faucets. Keep writing down the tips I'm giving you, okay? Faucets. You'll always hear me say in my videos that faucets need to be as sleek and minimal as possible. No commercial style faucets, those big ones with lots of rings, lots of arches and all that. This one here is a functional faucet, okay? In matte black, matching everything we have here in our project. And it's excellent, from a really great brand. I'm not going to mention brands here, okay? I might comment on it later. For example, Cooktop, oven, Electrolux. Water purifier, Electrolux. Look, dishwasher, Electrolux. Refrigerator, Electrolux. Microwave here, Brastemp. I can mention brands to you, but they're good brands you already know. In fact, right below in this video's description, right there in the description, there's a link to all these pieces of equipment here that I used in this project and recommend to you. If you want to buy an appliance, like if you're asking me to recommend a good induction cooktop, it will be down there in the description of this video for you. An oven, the faucet. Do you know how much a faucet like this costs? You must be thinking, wow, because of the design, because of the style. A single lever faucet, hot and cold water. You probably think it costs about 1,000 reais. 350 reais, we paid for it. I recommended this faucet model to the client. Okay, so you don't need to spend a lot to have a beautiful kitchen, all right? Another important tip, sink. Always an undermount sink or one that's flush with the countertop. Here, look. Never that drop-in sink. I would never recommend a drop-in sink in a project I design. All right, and I'll explain why in a moment. In my opinion, a drop-in sink isn't ugly. It's just not functional for daily use, okay? The undermount sink, which is this model here, or that sink that's flush with the countertop here, is much more functional when it comes to cleaning in your daily routine. All right? So take this tip as well because it's very important. Let's talk about this tile here. This was a tile that the client asked me for. He really liked it. You know I'm against having too much grout on the wall, especially here, look, by the cooktop. I'm against too much grout. You put those tiles on your countertop here in your kitchen, this one is at the limit. Let's put it this way, like you don't like it, okay? But what about this one? This one is at the limit for the amount of grout. It's a 20 by 20 stone, which he chose, and we put it in to match the niche that's over there in the living room. There's a wine nook over there with the same Ubatuba green finish. So that's why we put this type of stone in the project. But I'll say it again to you. If you can use the same stone in your project and bring it up here, great, but obviously the cost will go up. Porcelain tile is also very nice. But no, never put mosaic tiles in your kitchen here because they get really dirty and you get tired of them very quickly, okay? Shelf. I like this type of shelf here because it's functional. Instead of having this whole area smooth, you know, between the countertop and the upper cabinet, a little shelf like this looks really nice and is very functional. So I really like to use it in my projects too. Even if it's thin, you can put spices or those everyday items you use. Anyway, this is really nice and very functional for you to use in your kitchen. Keep writing down these tips because this is a design tip from an architect who's showing you both the theory and the practice. This is a project I'm delivering to my client. Did you notice that I have lighting here and there's also lighting on the ceiling? And this lighting needs to be neutral white or cool white. I'm not a big fan of cool white, okay? But never use warm white in your kitchen. Pay attention because I'm going to tell you why you should never use warm white. Look, just look at the living room over there. Do you see that in the living room we have warm white, in that central light fixture, in the spotlights, and in that chandelier out on the balcony? And here we have a neutral white. Kitchen and laundry room also have neutral white. These are spaces where you need to be fully attentive, well lit, right? That's why we have a lot of lighting here in this kitchen. So in my projects, it's always cool white. Cool white, however you want to call it. Lighting in your kitchen, okay? Trust me. You won't regret it. Shall we talk about the range hood too? That's another very interesting detail. You might be wondering right now. Okay, Ed, I see the cooktop, but where's the range hood? Show it here. Show it down here, look. The range hood's down here, see it? The range hood, we chose a slimmer model here. That's what we usually call it, thinner. But it's here, look, I'll turn it on, look. Listen to the sound it makes, look. Did you notice? It's here. The duct runs through the cabinet and vents upward. Okay, this is the slim model. But some people like to use that wall-mounted model. That model that has a glass like this. Here we use the slim model in the project. Why? Because I didn't want to lose the aesthetics of this overhead cabinet here, all the way across. If we use that wall-mounted model, that glass model, right? The one with the glass like this. You would lose a little bit of cabinet space up here. So here you see some really nice cabinetry, a really cool look, without losing the function of the range hood here for my client. Another tip for you. Another key tip, check the floor. Look at the floor, come here. Kitchen floor, guys, it has to have a satin finish, okay? Kitchen floor can't be polished, unless in some very specific cases. But kitchen floor has to have a satin finish. Okay, why? It's a place where you're usually going to be cleaning more often. It's a place where you need some traction to walk on this floor. Go with a satin finish floor. In this case, we used it in the kitchen, the laundry room, and the living room. The same porcelain tile goes out to the balcony. This porcelain tile is 1.20 by 1.20. Satin finish. So, it turned out really great. It looks really good. The client loved it. And it's also the kind of flooring I recommend for you. Speaking of which, since I'm already crouched down here, look down here. Baseboard. Okay? Toe kick. It has to be made from the same baseboard as the stone on the floor. See this here? This is the baseboard. Down here is my toe kick. We made a masonry base. And I didn't put it. It's very common to see countertops made with this toe kick made from the same material as the countertop. Okay? For example, here it would be white. No, in my projects, it's the same porcelain tile. It's the same flooring that goes up on this toe kick down here. All right? So put that in your project too. The toe kick in your kitchen has to be made from the same material as the floor. To keep the look of your flooring continuous. And since I'm talking about the toe kick, you notice there's a difference here, right? There's a depth here. Look, what is this for? This is really important for your daily life. For this right here, look, I'm here washing the dishes. Automatically, the front of my foot slides underneath, right? From my body line. So if I have that over there, look, leveled, aligned with my cabinet. I'm going to keep hitting the tip of my shoe there. So look, this distance is for this right here. Look, check it out. I'm leaning here on the sink. Look, it's very common for us to rest our hips against the counter and for the tip of our shoe to stick out over there. So that's what it's for. It's to give you this comfort in your daily life. This is very important. It's even good for your health, okay? Don't make a mistake in this project here, in this tip I'm telling you about, because this here will cause you serious back problems over time, as time goes by. Did you catch all these tips? What did you think of all this, of the kitchen? About this project we're delivering here, it's really beautiful, right? We designed it and we executed it. Everything you're seeing here, look, it was our project, my project. And ArcSet handled the build, from the floor to the ceiling, all ours. The client hired us to do everything here. All right, I'm going to do the following. All this equipment that's here, I told you guys, it's down here in the description of this video, where you can buy it. Now I'm going to ask you, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Like this video, leave your like, leave your comment if you have any questions about these tips I told you in the kitchen. All right, take this video here, share it, send it to your friends, to your family. Look at this cool video, such great tips that Edipo Kleber is bringing to us, straight from the job site, straight from the kitchen, in a project he did, that he executed, that he's delivering to his client, and he's showing it to us here, and a warning for you. Be careful with online architects. Okay? Someone recently told me here, they sent me a message, comments here, like, but I saw another video like this, like that, with him talking, her talking, and so on. Everyone has their own way of doing things. I talk about the theory, and I show it in practice. Okay? What I design, I show it working. So be careful with online architects who just sit in their office thinking they're the best and giving you tips that many times will lead you to make mistakes without you even noticing. If he demonstrates his design in practice like I am here, that's great. That's cool. Then I take my hat off to him. But if not, be careful. All right? Take care and see you in the next video.